Hello, everybody. I am here with Kuba from Titanforge, and we're gonna play some Bloodfields and show you how it works on Wartop. How you doing, Kuba?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm all right. Good morning, everyone. I'm kind of excited to play my first match on World Cup. I have played around with it a little bit, but didn't play in actual games. So today we're gonna check it out.
All right, so we're going to be doing the starter scenario. So on the menu on the left, we've got a number of Bloodfield specific items. So for example, we have a quick reference sheet here that you could use to see some items, some information during the game. We have a full rules, and this will let you scroll through the whole rules for the whole game. There's a little navigation thing at the top here where you can jump to pages, you can use buttons, you can use your mouse wheel, you can use all kinds of things there. We have a full scenario guide, so these are all the scenarios that they've released. We're going to look at possibly including some scenarios from the community as well. And finally, we have our quick start, which will give you the kind of the normal quick start rules that you'd see in the Patreon, and as well, it's got the quick start scenario. So we're going to use the quick start scenario today, and to do that, on the left, we also have these deployment zones. These deployment zones will help you deploy your models in a game. So depending on what sort of deployment style the game wants, you can choose it here. So we've got long, we've got wide, where you start in the corner. There's some maps that use a vortex deployment where you have to roll a dice to deploy a model. So all of the numbers are cut out of the deployment, and if you see, there is a subtle shade difference between the two zones so that you know where the zone starts and stops. For scoring during the game, if you need help, kind of determining where the quadrants of the board are for presence, you can use the presence one, and that's not specifically deployment, but it works the same way. And finally, we've got the starter scenario, and this starter scenario works on the smaller white square that is in the center of the map. And you can see it's also got the position of the objectives, so you can take your objectives, put them right out here so that you know exactly where they go. No need to measure, and we may come in and do this for other scenarios as well, just to help people out and make it a little bit quicker to set up. So yeah, you can come in, if you need to turn these, Q, E, and as you can see, we're starting to experiment with coloring and texturing some of these. So we've gone through and put a bit of a stone texture, and we've colored the leaves green, and all those kinds of things. After that, we can go ahead and spawn terrain. We'll close our deployment zone. So spawning terrain's pretty easy. We'll go into Bloodfields. So looking at the screen here on the right, what we're going to need is we are going to need a house. We're going to need an L-shaped fence. We're going to need a forest, a hill. We're going to need, I believe, this rock and these swamps, which just need to be renamed. And all that does is that spawns these over here. We've also done a little texturing with these rocks just to see what it looks like. So as time goes on, we're going to see about texturing and coloring a lot more terrain to make it a little more interesting for people. Okay, let's see. That is about
You can
there.
do that any way you like. This is just a quick setup scenario that will get is intended to show everyone the ropes. There are some free miniatures in World Cup that you can use to play it right away. There is a long starter scenario that takes you through all those characters that you'll be playing and the army rules and some basic rules
Yeah.
that will get you.
Yeah, that's right. The base game for this, which is the same starter pack that you get on Patreon, is part of the Wartop base package. So that's included on here. So once you've purchased Wartop, you will have access to that right away. Let me try and get these spaced out a little bit. One of the things too, if you want to, you can come into your map creator before you start the match. So we have a map creator that is a separate sort of area you can go into, and you can build out this map and save it ahead of time, and then so when you come in, you can just push a button and it will go into the map. You'll be able to load things from this map area here, so you've got saved maps, so you can load these instantly and it'll just spawn all your terrain right away and make it easy for you to start. All right, let's see here. I think this guy needs to be a little bit more like that, and this is probably a little more like that, I think, is where that goes. There, I think that looks about right. So Kuba, would you like to play the beast-shaped tribe, or would you like to be the elves?
Yeah, I think I will go with the Beast tribe, and you will play as high-born elves, right?
Yes, exactly. Well, the red leaf elves, I guess they're part of them.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. Okay,
so
so
the you can do a couple of things here. If you want to just spawn models, you can come in here into Bloodfields. You can choose the models you want to spawn. You can also spawn their cards separately, or if you're building to points, you can come into the army builder, and in the army builder, we've got factions across the top. We've got a little scroll bar here. You use your mouse wheel to go back and forth. We currently have these factions in here. Through the month of August, we'll be adding the rest of the factions. The point total up here is editable, and for the elves, we're actually going to have to do that because the 4 elves that you get in the starter pack, which are these 4, add up to more than 125 points. They're actually 126 points. So we'll just edit that to 126 so I can choose all 4. If you were playing with item cards, all of the item cards are down here at the bottom. They've got the correct points involved, and as you can see, it adds up your points automatically for you and gives you previews of everything you're mousing over, so you can look at the stats, look at the information, look at what's on their cards and things like that. When you're all done, you hit finalize team, and our team has spawned. So it spawns all your units and it spawns all the cards for each unit. Now, you don't really need to use these cards if you don't want to, because when you click on the unit, the cards will be here. Now,
yeah,
if you
keep them at the bottom, for example, to mark that they have already used this turn, or to store your tokens or some items. So,
exactly, yes. And you can change your player color here. I'm going to go with a nice red color. Now, that'll change both the base and the model itself, or if you wanted to, you could come in here and individually change the colors. Maybe I want to have a blue base on this guy and a purple base on the body. And then if you can even lock this so that when I do change now my full player color, that guy's colors don't change anymore. And changing your player color this way as your team color also changes your color. So if you look at your terrain spawn area here, and you can see these colors changing. Well, what that means is if you look at Kuba, his face over there is blue. Whatever I change it to, my avatar will have changed to the same color as that. So if you want to customize, your avatar or anything along those lines, you can do that. Now, currently we don't have a Bloodfields specific head in there, but we do have some heads. So this month we'll be setting up one of the Bloodfield heads as the avatar for this game, and we'll have that included by the end of the month later today. Okay, so I'll go ahead and position my models out here. Maybe put him there. Put him there, and we'll put her right there. Okay, perfect. Okay.
Okay, 1 second, because of this team color issue, I don't. When I hover over, oh no, this works. Okay.
Okay.
Let me. I will put the cards on my red screen for just quickly because it cuts the bottom of the card. I just.
Okay. Let me, I'm trying to see if I have another way to close that. I'm trying to remember.
Some escape delete in Bloodfields. I will just put on the red screen.
Usually what I'll do is the player color menu on the left, I'll set it up so that if you click that again, it'll just close it. So, yeah, that'll be perfect. Okay. I'll fix that today. All right. So, let's see here. We're all set up. The first thing we've got to do is get some dice. So in Bloodfields, you can use dice a couple of ways. The first one is this dice tray here for rolling your specific dice. It'll roll the dice you need to roll. You can change the number. It'll spawn the right amount. You can switch to defense dice, everything like that. But if you'd like to spawn your own dice separately, you can push the number 2 key. This will give you all of the tokens, all of the dice, and the objective markers here that can be used. So we can spawn, a couple of these. We can spawn some defense dice, and we can also use the number 1 key to spawn generic dice. So we're going to need a couple of d6s to get us started. These can also be colored, so if you right-click them, you can change the color, which allows you to change different colors on the dice. So first, Kuba, I think we need to roll for initiative, right?
Initiative, yeah.
All right. So you can pick it up over here. You can either select it or hold it, and then just press the R key, and that will roll your dice. I get a 2, and you've got a 3, so you're going to go first. I'm going to go ahead and...
I will take the initiative token and let you start the first round.
All right, he's going to let me start, so I'm going to grab some inspiration tokens. So I've got 5 inspiration tokens here, 1 plus my models. I'm going to go ahead and distribute these. Now you can distribute these a couple of ways. You can either sit them beside the model, or if you think you're going to need these tokens for a long time, you can just drop them on the model, and they will attach. And let's see here, drop that on there. We'll drop that one on there, and we'll drop that one there. All right, so I will go first. So I'm going to start with, who am I going to start with here? Am I going to start with him, or am I going to start with him? I'm going to start with Lion Whiteclaw. Now he's got a movement of 4. So when you pick up a model in Bloodfields and start to move, a little measurement tool will pop up automatically and tell you how far you've moved. If you're within the green, you haven't gone beyond your limit. If you are, now the reason it says red but it's 4, it's because there's a little bit of rounding here. So as long as you're within the green range, you are going to be okay to move that far. Later on, we're going to add a feature where it will actually restrict you to the maximum distance, so it'll help you place it a little bit better. All right, so I'm going to move 4 to there, and now he's got an elven bow, which has a range of 12 inches. I'm going to see if Kuba has left his guy close enough. So there's a single measurement tool here. I can come out to the front of him, drag it out here, and yes, he is 11 inches away. So when I let that go, you'll see right here on the left, it's popped into chat so everybody can see what that measurement is. So he's 11 inches away, so I'm going to use my second action to attack him. I've got, I get to roll 2 dice, and it'll do 1 wound, and let's see what happens here. So I'll grab a couple of dice, and I'll roll those, and I get a mastery and a blank. I believe I've got 4 range mastery, so I'm going to do 1 hit to Kuba.
Yeah, and as a result, I'm going to defend with 1 die against this attack.
Okay.
Oh, it's not the one. Okay. So let's see. This one I want to roll.
There we go. And oh, he is defended, unfortunately.
On armor, so yeah, it plunges against his armor.
Yep.
No feel blood yet. And because it was your second action, now I will perform actions with 1 of my units. Let's see the Brother Tusk over here. Let's activate him. He has 2 inspiration tokens. He can move up to 4 inches towards you. And because you were in 11 inches and now can also measure this, it should be around 7.
Yeah, and you can click on enemy units if you want to see their cards, and there's a couple of ways you can measure with this. Now we've got this radius here. We have to extend this for Bloodfields, but right now it only goes up to 6, but we're going to put this up to 12. So if I do something like 2 and hit radius, this will make a 2-inch radius around the unit. So if you need to measure close things, you can use that, but we'll go ahead and extend that. So it looks like I'm in range.
Yeah, this is a shorter attack. This is a spear throw by Brother Tusk. And the spear toss has 2 dice and critical strike, and we're at range 8.
Okay.
So let's see this. Let's take some dice. I will generate some dice quickly on my side too. Why not?
So you can pick up dice a couple of ways. You can click on a single dice and pick this up like this, or you can drag a square like that and then pick up multiple dice if you want.
Snap all of them, and I'm rolling.
All right, let's see how he's done. All right, 2 inspirations.
Yeah, let's check if Burwing is in 4 inches from my Brother Tusk. Yeah, let's see.
4, yes.
Which means he can reroll the blank result, I guess, because the owl is a wise mentor. So let's see this one. So 2 inspirations stay. Just this one, and we roll it quickly for another inspiration result. And now I will spend an inspiration token from Brother Tusk to change all of them into hits, and you defend with 3 defense die.
Alright, so these have been changed to 3 attacks, so I'm going to have to roll 3 defense. Let's see how I do. I'm going to have to spend my inspiration to defend against one of those, so I'll defend against 2, and I will take 1 hit. So I can take a damage token over, drop that on him, and that'll let us record how much damage I've taken.
And follows him everywhere.
Yeah. Alright, so up next, I'm going to activate Paradish Sundrop. Let's see here. Alright, I am going to... Now, I can move 5 inches. And... Here we go. So I'm going to move 5 inches, and now, Kuba, I'm going to try something here that I may not necessarily understand very well. So you can help us with it. We've got a charge tool here. This charge tool, now for Paradish Sundrop, it seems pretty obvious that I can charge directly at Kuba without too much trouble. But this tool will let you just make sure, it'll help you clear the area to make sure you're not going to hit any terrain or another unit or something like that moving towards it.
If the charge is simple or hard.
Yeah.
And in this case, you can evidently see that there's nothing in the way.
Yep, there's nothing in the way. And do we need to measure the distance?
Yeah, you have to measure the distance to check the difficulty of the charge.
All right. So the distance 6.5.
Which means the difficulty is 7, and you roll 2 d6 dice, and you choose the higher result and add it to your movement. So basically, only double 1 result will make this charge fail.
Okay. Now, I've only spawned a single d6. Now, I can do a couple of things here. I can pop open this menu to choose another d6. Or, if I want to, we don't actually need that d8, I can hold down Shift when I click on the dice, and I can duplicate the dice like that. So we have a couple of ways to do that. So I'll roll this. Hopefully I don't get double 1s. Ooh, that was close. So I will move up nice and tight here to Brother Tusk. And it looks like for a ramming charge, I get 2 extra dice, so I get to roll 4 dice. And on damage, I'm applying damage over time. So I'm going to need a 4th dice here. I'll just duplicate that so that I have 4. I will select my 4 dice and roll this. Okay, so I've got a hit, a mastery, and 2 inspirations. I think I'm fine with that. I will spend my inspiration on that, and I've got a 4 mastery. So Kuba, you're gonna hold 4 hits.
A good antler charge, yeah.
Yes.
Enjoy that. Yeah, let me generate 1 more attack die.
I'm gonna have to.
So we have 4 dice over here. Rolling this outpost. So you told about duplicating dice, but I wasn't really listening. Can you tell me how to duplicate?
So to duplicate a dice, you hold down Shift and then click the other dice, and it'll duplicate it. You just hold down and long click, and it'll make a copy of that dice.
Okay. Well, you are defending now in this vicious, brutal attack.
Yes, let's see how you do. You've got, oh wow, 4 defense, amazing.
But this guy only has 1 more. Oh, he has 2 armor, Brother Tusks. And I can't do anything about the rest of them, so it means 2 damage goes straight to him.
Okay, so 2 damage goes straight through, so he can only defend 2.
And it's back to me, because this was your 2nd action, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now we're gonna activate our bunny killer unit. When Bannaby is activated, he can blink 6 inches. So
okay.
Let's start with that.
Now you can still pick him up and it'll measure 6 inches. So it'll still show you 6 inches there. Yep.
So this bunny is gonna hop on the back line over here with his fling, and then he's gonna use a dagger fling attack with 6-inch range and critical strike. And if he has not used a move action this turn, he attacks with 1 extra die, which means that he attacks with 3 dice.
Okay. So I'm probably going to need more defense dice. Let's see how Kuba does.
So come out some small results.
Ooh, okay.
So this is a single hit, and there is a blank result which I can reroll with the Wise Mentor again. So this I'll already paying for itself here. And these are he only has 4 ranged mastery, so I can only change one of these into a hit. So you defend with 1 die from the first action.
So I'm defending 1 dice, and whoops, let me get a defense dice. Here we go. And ooh, I've got a mastery or an inspiration, but I am out of inspiration tokens, so I will take 1 dice. Or I'll take 1 hit.
And so the bunny killer, he can move and attack after each move action. However, he's already positioned well, and as long as he stays in place, he gets this extra die in his dagger fling. So that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna stay in place and attack again with his second action. So after the free blink at the beginning of his turn, he is now throwing. This one single die I will reroll. Okay. From the Wise Mentor passive, and here is the final result. I think this time we'll spend the inspiration to change 1 inspiration result into a hit for 2 hits total.
Okay, so I'm going to defend 2 hits. And I'm defending 1, so I'm going to take another hit.
Another drop of blood. Bloodfields is spilled.
There we go. So we've got 2 damage on him. Now, one of the other things you can use when moving your camera around is normally if you push W and S, you're going to move like this. But if you hold down the Shift key, you'll actually slide on the plane like this. So if you sometimes find that easier, you can also alternate this in the menu. So if you go into the menu, there's an option to set this as the default menu, and then using Shift will turn it into this. So we've left the movement mode open to the player. Okay, all right, so now is it my turn now to move, hopefully?
With activation of the 3rd unit.
Okay.
Behind the house has emerged now.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I am going to... I'm going to move Lunessa Waterfront here. And she can move 4, so we're going to move her up here. She is unfortunately... quite far from everybody. So what I might have to do, I don't know if her torrent, well, actually, you know what? I wonder if Volver here is in range. Let's find out. He might be within 12 inches.
And the line, he probably would be.
Yes, 11.4, so he is in range. So I can use my torrent, which is in 12 inches. Before the attack, I remove 1 inspiration or 1 shield from the target. So we're going to remove his inspiration token.
First, you have to pass the magic test to see if this spell actually processes.
Okay.
Guys, to the high result, add it to your magic mastery and meet or exceed the 8th difficulty of the torrent.
Okay, and then if I pass the torrent, then the tokens are removed.
All the rules from this spell.
Okay, fantastic. So she has got a magic skill of 5, so I need a 3 on one of these dice. Excellent. Let's see what we got. Oh, I got a 5. All right, so that succeeds. So he has lost the token. And then I get to roll with 4 attack dice. All right, let me grab some dice over here and one of these dice. And we'll grab this. We'll roll these 4 attack dice. We've got 1 hit and 2 inspiration. I will spend 1 of my inspirations. So it's 3 hits.
Stolen sometimes over here, so I will roll for defense on the right side of the table and defend right now.
Ooh.
So there is a save over here. The inspiration I cannot spend, and Volver has 2 armor. Volver has 2 armor right now, but later in the turn when he will activate, he will lose all armor. But right now he has 1. He has 2, so 1 damage goes onto him.
All right, so he's going to take 1 damage.
We are steadily like weakening down.
Yes.
Everybody.
Exactly. So I've taken my 2 actions, so I believe you get to take an action now.
Yeah, I mean, Linessa is actually an archmage, which means you can cast up to 3 different spells in a single magic action.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. Well,
you can cast only 2 spells. With Linessa, you can cast up to 3. She has some defensive spell over there that I think you should attempt to cast.
Yeah, so liquid form. Okay, so I'll try to use liquid form. So I'm going to have to roll a 5, which is a tough. I mean, I got a 5 last time. Let's see here. Do I get a 5? I do. Okay. So I have cast liquid form, and according to this, until your next activation, change all blank and inspire results to saves in every defense. Okay.
So she's now very hard to break through because of her liquid form. That's fine. This was her move action, and then your magic action. You used 2 spells. The Gazer, there's no bounded target for it, right?
No, I don't think so. I think he was almost 12 inches away, and nobody else is within 8 inches. So I don't think that's going to help, unless I want to stun my own unit.
Maybe there is some strategic plan for that. I don't know if in this game it's proper. Yeah. So my third guy to activate will probably be Volver over here, and he will move in the first action into the forest with his 4 movement, and I will use this trick he told me. Oh yeah, so I can put him.
Yeah, so it's a little easier. Yeah. So one of the things we've done here with the forest as well is we've made the trees. They have no collision, so you don't have to worry about bumping into the trees or anything like that when you place a unit down.
And now we'll attempt to charge with Volver.
Ooh, can he charge out of the forest, or is that going to become a difficult charge?
But it will become a difficult charge, so we'll see how it will go.
All right.
We will check the distance between the units.
7.1.
7.2, which means that the difficulty is 8.
Okay.
And then Volver speed is 4. So I will now roll a charge test. I will choose a lower result of my in my charge test. So I have to roll at least 2 4s in order to charge the wall.
Let's see if he is able to do this.
Yeah, he's able to run through this forest
and no.
No. So the charge failed.
Okay.
The charge failed. The unit moves by the number on the lower die towards the target. Yeah, so just by 2 inches.
There we go.
He stays over there, waiting, ambushing from the forest for the next round.
Okay, so I've got my last unit here for this round. We've got Elite. We've got Larsar Painsinger. We've got a movement of 4, or I can. I think I can blink. I don't know if anybody has vision of me. Let's see here, because I am kind of behind the corner. But one of the great things about Wartop here is we can fly right down in. So I'm going to fly into Volver's head here and have a look. And you know what? I can actually see his arm sticking out. What do you think, Kuba? Is that enough to be considered line of sight?
I have to see the base.
Yeah, you have to see the base. Okay, because all I can see is his arm sticking out.
Yeah, and I confirm I cannot see the base.
Okay, he can't see the base, so I am able to blink 8 inches, which is great. So I don't need to spend anything for that. It's just an automatic action that I can do. So nobody has vision of me. I will move 8 inches. which will put me maybe, it's a little bit too far, maybe 8 inches. Maybe I want to go behind this wall, maybe a little bit of cover. All right, I'll go in here, so I'm right behind the wall. I am going to shoot at, let's see here. Do I want to shoot at the rabbit? I might. I believe I have an elven bow, don't I? Oh no, I've only got dashing daggers. Oh. Range is 6 inches. Critical strike can be used when you're in combat. Okay. So now what I didn't do is I didn't actually quite move 8 inches there. I moved a little bit less, and so I can also do a reset, which will pop me back to the spot I am, and I can make sure I can go basically. Well, actually, it is basically 8 inches there. Okay.
How do you reset? Is there a button for it, or?
Yeah, it's on the under the units card. There's a reset button, so it'll reset it. Now it only resets it to the last place you picked it up. So if you do something like accidentally double pick up a unit, then you won't be able to reset it. Yeah. So let's see. Am I 6 inches to Volver or not? I might be. Let's see if I'm close enough to Volver to do a 6-inch attack. I am 5 inches. So, yeah. So let's see here. So I get only 1 dice though, and it does have critical strike. And what does critical strike do for us, Kuba?
Critical strike means that if you roll a skull on your die, this will be automatic hit with no defense roll from me.
Okay. Well, let's hope that I get a skull. And I do.
Well, nice.
All right.
Damage token over here, and Volver
now has 2 damage. So you will now move your last unit. We'll finish round 1, and we'll do the scoring, and then we'll talk about some of the things that we can do here with Bloodfields.
So, as my last action, I will activate the burrowing, the owl, and I will move him 4 inches. Over to the middle over here.
Now, if you wanted to spend 2 inspiration tokens, you could fly 8 inches, right?
Yeah. He has those weary wings, but I think I will save those inspirations and try to use the Hoot spell, which is nice AoE. Let's see if everyone is in range for it.
Yep. So now you can do this if you click on the card, Kuba, and go to the radius. Hit the drop-down menu and take that to number 6. Yeah. And then push radius. It'll make a radius around him, and you can see everybody that is within 6 inches.
Yeah. I cannot do this because it's behind the team color.
Okay, so I'll do it for you here. Radius 6, and there we go. So you can...
Yeah. So it saves a lot of effort in measuring things.
Yep.
It's very nice. Which means I can attack both of these guys. Of course, if the spell is successful, so let's attempt it right now.
Okay, and there's no friendly fire with these spells.
No.
Okay.
It's an attack that attacks only enemies.
All right. So he's going to get to roll 3 dice and do 1 damage per hit, but he's got to pass a magic test of 9.
Of 9, which actually not this time, Owl. It doesn't work. This time. But there is some backup plan. We'll use a bark skin to give a shield to our let's see. I think we'll give a shield to the brother Tusk.
Okay.
Here is the most damaged. So let's try it.
Oh dear.
Okay.
So
at least the owl is close to your mage now, and he can use his mana passive to hinder him a little bit for the next round, of course.
Yes. Okay. So fantastic. So now for scoring this starting scenario after round 1, what is the first thing we should be checking? Should we be checking how close we are to these objectives?
Yes, we should be. In the starter scenario, we just check who has more units next to each objective. In 2 inches from it. Okay,
so we're 2.4 away here, so it's not going to be this one, and I don't think anybody does.
I think we completely ignored the objective and went straight for Bloodfields. The game is called Bloodfields for a reason.
All right, so now do we score presence in this?
No, we will not actually, but you can show it on the map.
Okay.
How it would work.
Maybe, yeah, maybe you can show us the scoring, what we've done. So we do have these score sheets here that you can just type into, and it'll do some automatic calculations for you. So if we were scoring a normal game at this point, how would this score out for us? Let me put our presence here. So we've got this up so that we know what this looks like. So how would we score this normally, Kuba, at this point?
Yeah. So at your I'm going over to your site to show it. So in Bloodfields, at the end of each round, you fill out the points in the corresponding column. You fill out the blood points, which are the sum of the destroyed enemy units.
Okay. Okay, none of those.
None of those, yeah, not yet. Then there are objectives. Objectives are different for each game, depending on the scenario. In this scenario, we are playing for domination of those control points. We would get 20 points. The player who will have more units next to each of them will get 20 points.
Okay.
And then there is presence. It is also used in many scenarios. It promotes spreading out your unit across the entire map, and then there's this tool that we have alive on the map right now. And if you have units at each quarter, on each quarter of the map, you will get bonus points. And if you will have units at least 3 different quarters, you'll get a smaller number of points, depending on the scenario. Typically, it's around 5 and 15 points.
Okay, so in this case, I think we'd both get the same number of points, wouldn't we? Since I have 2 quarters and you have 2 quarters.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
We will both get no points, because the points do not start unless you have units in at least 3 quarters.
Well, I do have units in 3, don't I? Or do I?
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should definitely receive 5 points for that.
Okay. So I would get points because I have units in 3 quarters, but you wouldn't get points. Okay. Okay. And then I got the first blood. So was there points for that?
Yeah, the first blood. There are points for first blood, but it's also for destroying the first enemy unit, not for dealing the first.
Just for not for dealing the first blow. Okay. So I'll just show people very quickly. So like, let's say we actually had some blood points here and some objective points. As you can see, it will automatically calculate the total for you. And then whatever I guess depending on the scenario, it'll add this all up for you, and yeah, and you can save that. You can also save a game in progress if you want. We have a little save icon here, and this will actually let you save whatever is on this unit and on this widget here. And next time you come into the game, you can load it, and it will only allow you to load things that you've saved specifically from this scorecard here. So every game has its own save for that. Excellent. So one of the things we kind of wanted to show off here is some of the models. So on my account, I've got all of the factions unlocked so far. So I'll just quickly scroll through here so you can see some of these models, and I'll spawn a few in. Here's some Everdark Elf models. But one of the things we've got is we've also got a lot of the big models. Who do we have here? I believe Oakthorn is pretty big. Mossheart Elderclaw. We've got... Who else do we have here that's very, very big? I believe we've got... Oh, yes, we've got Duskwalker. We have Hisara. We have Bone Shaper. We actually have the portal here from Gods of Sun. So let's have a look at some of these models here, and have a look at these.
The thing about Titanforge is that we are primarily a miniature making company, and those minis are really like many spectacular models from our many releases. At some point, we had so many different models in our collection that we have to make our own game with them.
Yes.
And this is like, yeah, the part of the game is just to put those models in the center of the action, and to bring in some rules that will correspond with your character.
And so you can see the detail. These models look great. They're well detailed. They look just like the real thing. We've gone ahead and assembled these. Later on, we're going to look at doing unit painters or pre-coloring some of these. It is quite a bit of work, but that's our eventual goal is to be able to do that. And as you can see, even with all these big models in here, the performance is fine. We're not really losing frames or anything like
No,
that. So
apart.
yeah, it's very smooth. Yeah, so these are the factions we're gonna have. Like I said, we're gonna have all factions in here, so everything will be available. Also, if you're setting up the game and you choose a school of magic for your wizard, these cards are available here, so you can use these here on the side. Again, all the tokens, objectives are here. And yeah, we're also going to be painting terrain and everything as we go along with this as part of rolling this out. Anything else you'd like to, I guess, talk about in this, Kuba?
I'm happy that Bloodfields will get a nice environment to play, and you guys are doing a great job and great service to the community with working on this project, because it just looks really nice and plays really well. We'll do definitely some launch promotion for Bloodfields once it goes live, and it will be very soon. So we invite you all to check out our socials and our places where we communicate you for more news about it. And I guess we'll see you on the board. There are some, for all those interested, there is an online community for Bloodfields that plays very regularly with leagues going on, and we'll always find an opponent online if you want to play. It's on Discord, and we'll put a link to this server in the description of this video.
Yeah, and one of the things as well is if you're a Patreon of Titanforge, you will actually get a code that will let you claim any free army that you want. So you'll be able to pick your favorite army and claim that, and then those will all be unlocked for you. As part of the base package, you do just get the starter for free, but with this code, you'll be able to get all the models for a single faction for free. And as well, Bloodfields at this point, like all of our games, we never consider them done. So we're always looking for player feedback, bugs we might have missed, things we need to improve. If you guys say, hey, why doesn't this work like this? Then we can look at that and, see if we can change it and improve it so that it works for you guys. That's our main thing here, is that we're here to support the community and give you guys, a good playing experience with the official Titanforge models, and and now that this is in here, you're going to be able to play games, with Kuba someday. Excellent. Okay, well, thank you, everybody. Do look for more of this, and do keep an eye on the Patreon for the announcement, and we'll hopefully be seeing you guys on the table very soon.
Yeah, cheers. Have a nice day.
Yep. Thanks, Kuba.
Bye bye.